Yo, yo! Good morning, and good morning, everybody. My name is Marquise Money Mike Williams. I'm a founding member and executive senior director here at JMG Direct, and I would like to welcome you to Saturday morning training. Whether you're live and direct with us right now, which everyone should be, or you're checking in with us because you work nighttime and you had to get some night, I want to let you know that it's so important that you're dialed in and you're connected, because one of the things that I always tell people and I enforce, the difference between amateurs and professionals is training, right? The difference between amateurs and professionals is training. I don't know what I have in the background, so I'm going to go ahead and minimize that. There we go. All right. So I wanted to jump into some training today and really dig in about some things that helped me change my business and really just helped me change my overall life as a whole. And I really hope that it does the same for each and every one of you. All right. So let's jump right into it. Boom. First and foremost, let's welcome and congratulate all the new champions that have joined the team. Give them some love, give them some hand raised emojis. Whatever you can do in the comment section, show them some love and congratulate them. You guys, we are a prosperity community, and we want to love on and we want to welcome everybody who's connected and joined what we have going on. But it's important for you to realize, despite all of our the fun that we have, the presentations, the trainings, and the different things, at the very root, the very foundation, all we do is expose. All we do is expose. And what I mean by expose is we spread the word by word of mouth. We let them know what's going on with the opportunity. We let them know what's going on with the products and services we have offered. The mall, online store in its entirety. We just expose them and allow them to make the decision if they are ready to take advantage of what we have to offer. In other words, we don't do any selling or convincing, okay? That's what I'm saying. We simply offer the information. It's kind of like I just had me a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios, right? I'm not even showing right now. I just had a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios. And if I wanted to share with people, I would just come and I would say, hey, you want some Honey Nut Cheerios? And if you want some Honey Nut Cheerios, you say, yeah, man, let me get a bowl of that. But if you didn't, you'd be like, nah, man, I'm good. I just ate, right? But if you said I just ate, I'm not going to keep shoving Honey Nut Cheerios down your throat because you said you don't want no Honey Nut Cheerios, right? And why? Why is that? Why would I not do that? Because there's a bunch of other people who are hungry, who want some Honey Nut Cheerios, that would love for me to come say, hey, do you want some Honey Nut Cheerios? All right? Do you want some Honey Nut Cheerios? So it's just that simple. So our launch strategy, I'm going to take myself out the way. Our launch strategy is simple. It's elementary even. Success with JMG is simple as 1, 2, 3. You may notice we use the word simple a lot because I want to both directly and literally, as well as psychologically, get it inside everybody's head that this is simple. Because society will have you think anything outside the norm is difficult. Society will have you think that running a home business is difficult. The world will have you thinking that you can't do it. But I want you to understand that it is simple, and it doesn't matter who you are, what walk of life that you come from. It doesn't matter if you're young or wise. It doesn't matter if you went to Yale or if you straight out of jail. You can build this JMG Direct business. And it all starts with you making one decision that you want something more out of life. But more importantly, you're willing to do the work that it takes to get it. That last part is the key. It's easy to make a decision, but sticking to it and doing the work, that's what separates the champions from the chumps. That's what separates the champions from the chumps. Number 2, gather 2 customers to qualify to get paid. Preferably, my credit is better. It will be better for you in the long run. 3, partner with 3 people and teach them to do the same thing. Make a decision, get qualified. That's our launch strategy, you guys. Learn it, memorize it, master it. And I'm telling you, you're going to be in a position to where your life and your business grows immensely. Just like these people on this list who met the first month requirement to go to Miami. These people set their sails out and they set they cast their nets out and they grinded and they went hard in the month of July and they met the qualifications. And they're on their way to meeting the second set of qualifications this month as well. And for those of you who are new and you don't understand what we're talking about, JMG Direct has one of the best incentive programs in the home-based business industry. And one of those incentives is they do periodic lifestyle enhancement trips where they take you as a representative and a +1 on a all expenses paid trip to enjoy life. Now this time we're all going to Miami. We're hanging out together. We're going to mastermind. We're going to have fun. We're going to have a good time. And that's what it's all about. And we want each and every one of you to focus on going after goals. See, when the company announces something like this, that's when you put your head down and say, okay, I am hitting that goal. Do not allow yourself to miss opportunities and goals in this business. But today's training is titled, It's Not About You. And I know that's difficult for some people because naturally we're taught it's about me. I'm making money for me. I'm making money because I have goals and I have dreams. But it's kind of like one of those Star Wars, work for you much, what you get less, type of things. Zig Ziglar, the late great Zig Ziglar once said, if you help enough people get what they want, then you will eventually get what you want. So in this business, if you're out exposing people with the thought process, I need $65. I need $65. I need $65. I need my 3 so I can do this, so I can do that. Then the success is ironically going to come a little slower for you. But if you have a servitude mentality, right? If you have a servitude mentality, you say, you know what? How many people's lives can I change so that I can get to where I want to get to, right? How many people can I bless so that I can reach my goal? When you start looking at it like that, when you start looking at them as an opportunity to change their lives, then I'm telling you, your blessings will be plentiful. Your success will be plentiful. But I'm going to dive more into this concept here for a second so that you guys can really get it. But before I do that, I want to jump into the product of the week. The product of the week is the Black-owned t-shirt, right? The Black-owned t-shirt. We've been on our hoodie mission for a long time, but man, it's summertime. We can't be out here wearing hoodies. I know the millennials do it, but nobody who's over the age of 20 or 30 is out here wearing a hoodie. I don't know about you, so I say, you know what? Let's jump on this Black-owned t-shirt. Why? Because it's a moment to be proud. It's a moment to celebrate. It's a moment to support. And it's just as amazing as the hoodie. So let's get out here. Let's rock our Black-owned shirts. Let's get a commission and let's spread the word, not just about the hoodie, but the shirt. But second, I want to jump into taking the spotlight off of you, right? Taking the spotlight off of you. Because when you get in your head, it's not about you. And that's on so many different levels, because as we're out exposing, a lot of times we want to expose people the way that we think that we should expose people, instead of following the psychological thought process of what works. And what I mean by that is, if you went to a restaurant, right, and say you don't eat beef, right, say you don't eat beef and you're on a diet, so you're not eating starch, and you go and you say, let me get that salmon, let me get the broccolini, and I need another vegetable. Give me some carrots, right? Boom. You think you got you a good meal. And then the server comes after taking a while and they bring you a ribeye steak with some mashed potatoes and some corn. And you're saying, yo, like, this isn't what I ordered. This is not what I wanted. But the server says, well, this is what I like. This is what I think that you should have. And that's what it's like when you attempt to do things your way. You're in your head saying, I think it should be this way. You're in your head saying, I think it needs to go like this. Even though there's been a long lineage of people in the home business industry, Troy said, let's eat. In the home business industry that have bumped their heads learning the right way to do it. And I want to shift the psychological focus for a moment, right? Because sometimes people don't really think about certain things. The owner of our company, Paul D. Jones, was a representative. He was on trainings just like this one before he became a millionaire and ran his own trainings and so forth. Before he became the owner of JMG, right? Mr. Jones has invested thousands, maybe even $1 million up to this point. I'm not sure, but I know it's thousands for sure. Into this company for it to be successful, for us to be successful as well, right? So when you're thinking about things being that need to be a certain way, when you're thinking about how things should really be, I want you to think about, why would this man invest thousands of dollars into a company, this the legacy for his family, only to do something that's not right, that's not going to work? Because obviously he wants it to work too, right? So as you're thinking, as somebody who's invested $200, and $200 may be to you what thousands are to him, but I just want you to get in the frame of mind that he has a lot more skin in the game. And he has a lot more knowledge and wisdom in the game. And he has a staff of people behind him that have more knowledge and wisdom than he does in case he needs to be checked too. So when you find yourself thinking it's about you and it should be this way or it should be ran that way and this should be this or this should be that, just back up for a moment and just think logically about, maybe it's not about you, and maybe there's things that you don't understand, which is why that it's done the way that it's done and ran the way that it's ran, okay? Because he wants you to win, and he has a financial motivation to help you win. Because if you win, the company wins. If the company wins, him and his family wins. But let's talk a little bit about, just to sum that all up, just ask yourself sometimes, would you rather be right or rich? Because the business is proven. The business works. You see it working for many other people. You know, Senior Director Troy Harris shot up through the ranks of the company, probably knocking on the door of Executive Senior Director. You have Jimmy Mack jumped up to advanced marketing affiliate in like a day. You got other people who are knocking on the door of advanced. This business works. So if it's not working for you, you have to look in the mirror and get with your sponsor and upline. Let's look at that and see why. And sometimes you have to be man and woman enough to say the business works. I don't. And then change that. All right? But let's talk a little bit about attitudes. All right? This is a quote that I read one time, and it really stuck with me. I read it probably at least once a week. And I just want you to just absorb it. Just close your eyes for a moment and listen. Or you can read it too, but the longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude, to me, is more important than education, than money, than circumstances, than failure, than successes, than what other people think, say, or do. It is more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It will make or break a company, a church, a home. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we embrace for that day. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that people act in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play on the one string we have, and that's our attitude. I am convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. And so it is with you. We are in charge of our attitudes. We are in charge of our attitudes. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% of how you respond to it. Always keep that in mind. Keep that in your heart. Everything's not going to go perfect every single day, but it is your attitude towards it that's going to change how the rest of that day goes. So I want to jump into something more applicable, right? I want to teach you guys something that you may or may not realize about when you're exposing other people, right? This is something called the trust respect triangle, right? This is why you shouldn't do everything on your own, because you have you, right? You're in the business, you're excited, you're pumped, you see the vision, you got it. You want to talk to your contact, you want to expose your contact. And your contact trusts you because you have a relationship. That's your dude, that's your girl, that's your homie, that's your cousin, that's your brother. There's trust there. But there might not always be respect when it comes to business. They know you work for $15 an hour at your job, or even it could be more, but they got an idea of what your lifestyle has been like because they know you. You might have asked to borrow some money from them the other day. Or they might have asked to borrow some money from you and you didn't have it. Whatever the case may be, whatever preconceived notions in their head that may or may not be right, it may cause them not to respect you when it comes to business. So that's why you have to take the spotlight off of you and you have to bring in an expert, your sponsor, your upline, somebody that you're working with, and you have to edify that expert. You got to edify them. What's edification? Edification is when you build the person up before the introduction. You see it, at church when they have guest pastors. You give their titles, their accolades, the things that they've accomplished. You see it when there's a keynote speaker at graduations or companies. They give their titles, their accolades, what they've done. They're giving you an idea of why you should listen to them and why you should respect them. And because more often than not, because they don't know them and you, who they trust, because you edified them, then that expert will have respect and an extension of your trust. And they'll be open to the exposure. They'll be open to the exposure. And that's all we do is expose. Remember that. All we do is expose. All we want them to do is have an open mind so that we can share the information with them. That's all we do. The person who shares the information with the most people wins. Here's a few points to ponder. Presentations and trainings go live 5 minutes before we start. So be early so that you can comment and introduce yourself. Give your name, where you're viewing from. But most importantly, definitely be on time. Be on time. Have guests use the hashtag champion when they introduce themselves. That way we can start having an idea of who are guests on the line. And if you have guests that you're inviting, that you can look and easily look through the other people to see who your guests might be. Because, different people have different handles, when it comes to, their social media handles, different pictures, so you may not know it's the person. So that brings me to the next thing. Success is an image, even online. Make sure your social media handles and your pictures are not offensive. Make sure they're not offensive. You can't be having, somebody shooting somebody or, a nickname that just isn't right for business. We're not, like we say, we're not your boss, but I'm giving you tips to help you grow within the business. Never be negative. Think before you talk or say a comment. Remember, together everybody achieves more. So this is our prosperity community. If you're having a bad day or if you feel like something's negative, keep it to yourself. Think again before you hit send. All right. Speak positive and uplifting during the presentation. But don't have side conversations as it may distract others from getting the information. Interacting, saying a month, talking about your excitement, talking about, the things that have happened positive during the week. I got 3 people, my friend just joined, things like that. That's amazing. That's perfect. Everybody is just loving to see the synergy. But if you're talking about what you ate for dinner and asking the person what they're doing tomorrow, that's a distraction. It may not be for you, but somebody else may look at your comment and start reading your thread. They might get excited about what you're eating tomorrow and miss the blessing of the information they need to change their lives. But remember, together everybody achieves more, right? We have different teams and different sponsors and different uplines, but we're all one big team, you guys. At the end of the day, we're building this prosperity community together, and we want everybody to eat. We want everybody to win. So, by the numbers, right? This is a business, and though it's a home-based business, when you begin to run your business like it's a business, you begin to see things. It's like if you ever watched Matrix, and when Neo finally got it, he started seeing the X's and the O's, and he just started seeing things on a whole nother level. And when you start running your business like it's a business and not like it's a hobby or just something you're doing, not saying any of you are doing that, but I know I've been at a place in my life before I reached the success that I have that I was doing that. So I'm just speaking from experience to help you do that. But let me give you some numbers. 3% of the population have massive influence. They could call up somebody and say, yo, I'm doing this business. You should do it. And they'll do it without any details just because it's them, right? 27% of the population, they just want more out of life. And they're willing to follow directions and work, be teachable and coachable. They don't have the massive influence. You got to teach them. You got to educate them and show them how to do it. A lot of times even hold their hand. And then 70% of the population will die with their music still in them. You're just not going to get them in. They're just not going to get it. The light bulb is not going to go off above their head. And when you begin to accept and embrace the fact that there are people out there like that, see, sometimes we care too much. Sometimes we want it more for others than they want for themselves. And it slows you down and it causes you to miss out on the other people who are looking for you. I was telling a friend of mine an example the other day of when you're walking down the street or you're walking a straight line, right? If somebody just taps you a little bit, you go off your line a little bit. Not much, but you go off a little bit. And then when you take that into a deeper perspective, if I'm flying to New York from Atlanta, and if that pilot starts off just 1 degree off his flight plan, 1 degree is like a smidget. It may not seem like much in the beginning, but that 1 degree of difference is the difference between ending up in New York and ending up in Philly. And see, the devil doesn't have to do this grand thing in your life. He doesn't have to cause a catastrophe. All he has to do is tap you and knock you off that straight line, and you're 1 degree off, and you miss that person that you were supposed to meet at Costco because you ended up at Walmart. You missed that person who was going to blow up your business because you guys worked together and they were praying for an opportunity because you were that 1 degree off. So be careful spending too much time with the wrong people. You expose, you plant the seed, and if they're ready, great, come on, let's go. If they're not, then love them where they're at, because all no means is not now. And you keep leading by example, doing what you're doing, because here's a secret most people won't tell you. When people say no, they're going to watch you. When people say no, they're going to watch you. Why? Because they want you to quit to justify their no. They want you to quit to justify their no. See, that's why I ain't do it, because I knew it wasn't going to work. But when you stay consistent, when you keep grinding, when you keep growing, when you keep staying plugged in, see, The world is working the way that it's working. 95% of the population lives paycheck to paycheck. 95% of the population is looking to lower their taxes, increase their credit score, eliminate debt, and create wealth. So despite the fact if they realize where they are right now and realize if they need it or not, most likely they need something. I could get more technical with you. Inflation grows faster than the rate of people's income. So if inflation is growing faster than the rate of people's income, I don't care who you are or what you do, you are hustling backwards. You are losing if you don't have some secondary form of income. And you can quote that, Jack. That's economics. So when you're speaking to people, when you have this artillery of knowledge and wisdom in your head, you don't let it affect you when they say no, because you understand, man, 70% of these people, they not going to get it. That's cool. I'm looking for the 27 percenters. I'm looking for the 27 percenters. When you recognize inflation grows faster than the rate of people's income, it's like, all right, you might not get it now, but, you know, these interest rates are going to keep growing up. Things are going to change. You know, I'm here when you need me. And that's when you always treat people with love and respect. You don't diss them. Back in the day, I used to diss people. I was bad. Yeah, that's why they need people working at McDonald's too. You know, I used to be bad. Do not do that. Just treat them with love and respect. Hey man, I understand. That's great. Well, you know, whenever you're ready, we're here for you. We'd love to work with you. If you know anybody else who's keeping their options open, hey man, I love to talk to them. You know, give them the link to your store, let them buy something. But when you understand these things on a higher level, it gives you more confidence and reassurance and confirmation that you're in the right place. Now, small caveat. A lot of people may think, oh, I want the 3%ers because they could just call people up and tell them to get in. You don't want the 3%ers because a lot of times the 3%ers aren't teachable and coachable because they've lived their whole life being able to just tell people what to do, being able to just utilize their influence. And that's not realistic in this business because in this business, it's not about you. Personalities don't duplicate. Systems do. So even if you are a 3%er, you may have to work harder to say, okay, it's not about me. I got to follow the system. There's even things I can do that other people can't do. So I don't teach those things because it's not duplicable. Right? But let me give you one more number. 27% of the US population is 89,640,000. So do you think you can find 3 people who want to make some more money? There are people out there who are looking. And all you have to do is get out there and spread the word. So the numbers never lie, right? Let's talk goals because any business, they're going to have goals. They're going to have things that they're working towards. They're going to have things, you know, they have numbers. When I owned the Planet Smoothie, it was my first exposure to really understanding retail and things of that nature. You know, I understand things on a higher level now. So I want you to start looking at your numbers and creating your numbers. What do you mean? Well, ask yourself, what did you do for your business this last week? Look in the mirror. Ask yourself that question. What did you do? Not how many emails did you check. Not how many times you logged into the back office. Not if you got on the presentation or not. But what profitable activities did you do for your business last week? Because we get paid to do 2 things. Gather customers and representatives. We do a call to action at the end of every training. Did you follow the call to action? Did you even pay attention to it? Or was that like, you know, was that like the benediction at the small church? Even the big church. You know, a lot of times I find people, I go to a mega church, right? I go to a big church. And after the word, you know, they go into the benediction. The benediction is basically, you know, the announcements and the ending prayer and things of that nature. Well, a lot of people take that as the opportunity. I'm gonna go ahead and skate out so I can beat this traffic. I can get out this parking lot. but a lot of them miss a blessing within the benediction. So are you skating out like, oh, he's done with training, let me go, I don't need to hear this call to action? Or are you getting the call to action and absorbing it and saying, okay, I'm going to follow this call to action because this call to action is going to lead me to further success? But even outside the call to action, did you set your own goals? Did you set your own goals? Hey, I'm going to talk to 3 people a day. I'm going to talk to 5 people a day. I'm going to sign up 2 people by Wednesday. What are your goals? You got to set some. You got to set some because there's no way to hit a target if you don't have one. And we got to go within JMG Direct. I'm calling it Operation Go Hard, right? And as a whole, what we want to do is we want to change the lives of at least 1,000 people during the year 2023. And we all need to come together. Every team, focus, above average, every team, we need to come together and say, you know what? We are going to change the lives of 1,000 people, right? And we're not going to judge it by going to corporate and saying how many people are in. We're not going to do the fundraiser with the tally thing. I want us to come together. I want 1,000 people on these live streams, on these trainings. I want 1,000 people consistently plugged in. In order to do that, we got to plant some seeds. We got to expose. We got to expose. We got to expose. Obviously, the numbers are going to fluctuate. Different people have different things going on in their life, and I understand that. But I want to see that ticker. I want to see that number hit 1,000. And I believe with leadership like we have right now, I believe with some of the new people that are up and coming, I have no doubt in my mind that we can do it. But we gotta go, and we gotta go hard. We gotta go hard. We can't be acting like tomorrow is promised. We gotta run this thing like tomorrow is never promised. Because one thing I always say is you could be comfortable or you could be hungry, but you cannot be both. I need you guys to be hungry, like Les Brown hungry. You just gotta let that rasp come through in your voice. Hungry. And that starts this Tuesday. Let's pack the lines. Let's get people plugged in. Let's get them ready for the Simple Wealth Blueprint this Tuesday, the 15th. You guys, that marks the middle of the month. The middle of the month of August, the 15th. Let's pack them in. Let's show them how we can take their life to the next level, how they can be a part of something special. I don't know how I did it, but I cut the M off the .com. So please don't go to simplewealthblueprint.co. I believe there's actually a .co these days, like for companies. So there is a M on the end of the .com. For new people, it's simplewealthblueprint.com. All right? And then make sure you connect with the Paul D. Jones Show. Phenomenal show, great value, great value, great value. And it's just going to help you change your life. And that's what we want for you. We want your life to change and get better. So the call to action, pay attention, set goals. Make it your personal mission not to end the week with 0 ever. Remove limits. The only thing that can stop you is you. The only thing that can stop you is you. Don't allow yourself to stop yourself. One of the things, I got a shirt that says, stop talking, start doing. Do that. Don't talk about it, be about it. Send out 10 invitations per day. And let's partner with your 3 people because you're the best investment that you got. A little early, thank you. The memory jogger replay for anybody that needs it. But you're the best investment that you got. And you're born to win. Thank you, Brother Troy. I always appreciate you. So each and every one of you, play to win right now because you are already a champion. Let's go out, make this week the best week ever. I got your back. I'll see you at the top, and I'll see you at the bank. Peace out.